let's talk about what we're doing today. Also, Bird, remind me, I want to go over the story arcs. I want to talk about them a little bit tonight. All throughout this week, I want to talk more about them. So they're a good starting, they're a good place to start for somebody who wants to start a fitness journey. So Monday. November 3rd. Bench. We are doing workouts from the Healthy Adventures 1-year Player's Handbook, just like we have been for the last 2 weeks. And right now we are doing level 8, week 3, day 1, which is upper body. And if you want to secure a completely free copy of this PDF for this ebook, it's roughly 330 pages. If you want this, it will be in our Discord. Bird will probably drop a link here in a second. But if you're here, chances are you're here from Discord or Instagram. So the link is in my bio. I actually didn't even post that I'm doing this on Instagram. So chances are you're probably here from Discord anyway. So it's in the freebies section. But what we're doing today, bench, 3x5, barbell, bent over row, 3x10. The book, it says 3x10, but I want to do 3x5. Because we're building strength today. And then dumbbell, incline, fly, 3x10. And in here it says pullovers and then easy bar skull crushers. We will do skulls, superset with curls. So, and both will be 3x10. And I'm supposed to do core. I said I was going to start doing core today. So let's do core. We'll do crunches. We will do crunches and planks. Let's do 20-second planks because it's been a very long time since I've done core. And then we'll do 10 crunches. And then afterward, yes, tonight I wanted to talk about meal prep. So we'll do a meal prep. Ah, shit. I got these awesome erasers from Pickles. Lecture. So, if you stay till after class, I'm going to be doing a lecture on how we implement meal prepping. Oh, and story arcs. Yeah, but I want to talk about them throughout, but I'll put it out there. Thank you, Bird. Again, if you stay until after class, I'm going to go over how we implement meal prepping with our clients. And I am going to go over this right here, the cooking and shopping guide. Again, part of the 1-year beginner's handbook, and it is all in here. But we break down meal prepping into stupid simple, easy to understand, quick and easy, 20 to 30 minutes prep meals by implementing, you can't quite see it, this roll table, which I will talk about after class for our lecture. We like doing lectures after the workouts, we as in me, and so I try to add like a 10 to 30 minute lecture at the end of the workouts. So if that interests you, stick around until the end where I can help show you how you can really cut down on your meal prep time while having meals that are simple, that appease your palate, and don't take 100 ingredients to make. Cool. So, without further ado, let's hit this workout. I will be moving you guys over. So give me a second for that. But if you have any questions while I'm setting up, put them in the chat. I am gonna have to move you guys, like usual. This way. No, I shouldn't need you guys super high up. How is that? I want to move that one up. If you are, there we go. If you're somebody, thank you, Bird. Why am I so handsome? I guess just blessed genes. But if you are somebody who wants to watch me work out, but don't want to watch me work out at 9 p.m. Eastern, you can always watch us on YouTube. I upload the VODs normally the day after, but sometimes it's a little bit later. Oh, fuck. Oh. That was cool. That is definitely worth clipping. I don't think anything broke. Alright, I apologize. We are suffering some technical difficulties as I just dropped roughly $2,000 of equipment onto the fucking concrete. So give me a second. And you can stare at my nose. There's that. Do a little bit of a wider stance there. How are we doing? Everybody still with me? Perfect. I think we're okay. I think that might be a little low, but we will find out. Thanks, Bird. Oh, update you guys will be happy to hear about. Finally, after 6 weeks, got the rails for the leg press. I'll be setting them up tomorrow, and we'll be doing our first ever leg day with the leg press. Not our first ever leg day, but our first leg day with the leg press. All right, I'm already getting warm. So I'll put this on the leg press. I'm gonna fucking kill myself over here. Still doing all right? Let's go. That's what I'm saying. Bird knows the struggles. I didn't put these on. Cool. It's over here. Boom. You cheering? Yeah, cheering on. All right, I'm gonna warm up. Empty bench. Start. Yeah, no more chicken legs. Oh, always make sure you turn your watch on your workouts, or else it doesn't really count. Just like if you don't take a gym selfie, it doesn't count. But I stream all my workouts, so I don't really have to take a selfie. Make sure I didn't bust my camera. For those of you just turning in, I dropped my whole setup on the concrete. Phone fell apart, and my camera hit the ground too. And I just got this camera. Not that I want to destroy any of it, but... All right, we're going heavy today. 3x5. Hopefully not going to fail at 275 like we did 2 weeks ago. Oh, also feeling a lot better than last week. 4, 5. need to get a nice little rack for those weights like I have over here. Or my big boy weights. How are we looking over here? No, the screen's not cracked. Don't be playing games with me. It better not be cracked. It's not. Mess in. I need to get some music on you. I don't want to get like DMCA or whatever. Copyright strike, dead. Oh. Right. All right, so 25 on. Yeah, okay. Also, for the record, people who are strolling through the chat, Bird asks, why am I so handsome? She's allowed to say that. She's my girlfriend. Nobody else is allowed to say that. Besides Picklefoot, if he's joining, he can say that. He bought me erasers, so he paid the rights. Also, can you read that? I don't think you can read that. Alright. This might be my first working set. Let's find out. Off for that. It felt good. I'm going up. We're heating up. Does anybody want to come help finish my garage for me? So I can actually have a decent setup. Come on, there we go. I want to do it one of these weekends, but we're always so busy. Hey, is that Trevor? Also, thank you for that. That was my first working set, I think. We'll see how this one feels. We'll just kind of keep going up until we get tired, which we're already tired. Actually, like for the last 2 weeks, I've been feeling like a cold. I'm actually feeling really good today. So I don't know how strong I'm feeling, but I am feeling good. Awesome, awesome. Glad to have you, Trevor. If you want me to call you a Lucky Legend on Twitch, I will. But I'm gonna hit this up. Glad you had a good workout. I'm starting mine right now. Wow. It's like 100-pound plates instead of 45-pound plates. Yeah, that's good. Well, I'll stay there. Oh. I didn't take a pre-workout today, so. So, like always, wrote down notes to talk about. I got like 3 days worth. So, let's chat. Oh, we talked about exercise side quests last week. To recap, there's this term going around called exercise snacks. It's when you take like essentially think of it as like you take your workout and you break it up into like smaller bite-sized pieces. So like if you're somebody who works from home, you do like 5-10 minutes at a time. And I really don't like that term, exercise snacks, because it makes me hungry. And so I like calling them exercise side quests. But yes, let's talk about story arcs, which the man, the myth, the legend himself, Trevor, is very interested in doing. He's participating in. And so starting November 10th, so next Monday, a week from today, we are doing a 14-day fitness challenge that is going to be D&D themed / inspired, because you are going to be, throughout the 14 days, you're going to be walking through a small story arc. And this is directly ripped from my homebrew D&D campaign. And so you'll be going through slightly expedited, slightly quickened story arc. Think of it as like a one-shot, to where after the 14 days, everything you do counts towards XP. Workouts, cardio activities, nutrition habits, other habits, those all count towards XP. And the player with the most experience at the end of the 14 days is the grand prize, or is the grand prize winner. And they also canonize themselves in the lore of the story, which I think is the true grand prize, because I want to do these every quarter, and each quarter you get brought up on what happened in the story prior to that. And so your character will be then canonized as, you know, Trevor the Dragon Slayer, or whatever character you want to play as. And in addition to that, you get a customized dagger with either your name or character name, whatever you want on it. You'll get, which I just got mine today, they're actually pretty cool. And you'll get custom character art done, a full character study is what they call it, and then a customized mini from Hero Forge. You just send me the file and I will get it printed out and sent to you. And also, if you refer somebody and they sign up and they win, you both win grand prize. So if you have, I know this is something Trevor was talking about, if you have a D&D group where you are, if you have a D&D group and they're all interested, and you refer 5 people and one of them wins, then you and that person both win the grand prize. So you're, you know, increasing your chances to win as well. So if you're interested in that, DM Dragon. You can message us on Instagram. Also, it's $49 for the 14 days, fully customized programming and everything, which is a lot less than what I actually charge for coaching. So it's a really good entry point for somebody who's looking to get started in their fitness journey without taking that full plunge. It's a good way to kind of dip your toe in and add RPG elements to your overall fitness. So highly recommend that. Also, this is free for all paying clients, so just FYI. Let's hit this set. This is gonna be our third set. Oh. This is where I'm supposed to scream lightweight, baby. Chat. We got it. Okay. You gotta be quicker than that. Oh, let's clean that off. Also with that, you actually get a character sheet. My designer is finishing up a character sheet right now, so. Hey, fuck off, King Bob. Yep, bird, dropping it all. So, yeah, great place to start, great way to gamify things, add fantasy RPG elements to fitness, and it's just generally fun overall. So we've done challenges before and they turned out to be pretty positive. And so this one is going to be more story driven, but still fun. Thank you, Picklefoot. I'm not as strong as you are. Oh, I ranted about this last week, but I'm ranting about it today because I have it written down for today. One thing I hate hearing is people saying, I think it would just be cool to, lose 20 pounds and have a shredded six-pack. Whenever I hear it would just be cool, or I think it would be cool, the word cool, that's the red flag. Anytime I hear that, I know for a fact they're not ready to actually make a change, and they're just doing, I don't know if I can say this on here, but mental masturbation, to where they're just thinking about achieving goals, planning out how they're going to achieve goals, and getting all that dopamine that you get from planning. And so when the time comes to actually take action, they don't need to take action because they've already got that reward response. So if you're thinking to yourself, man, I think it would be cool to get into shape, to lose 50 pounds, to have a shredded six-pack, whatever your goal is, then you're not ready. If you're not ready to take action, you're in that contemplation phase and not the action phase. But we're going to do bent over rows, as it says right there. Pickles, I don't know if you heard, but I thanked you like 3 times for those erasers. So, again, thank you. What did we do last week for this? 185? You can see me here. Yeah. Let's see how 135 feels. Oh. Okay. I don't know if 185 will be good, but let's throw. You know what? We're feeling manly. Let's throw 185 on. We're hitting it. Oh. Whew, I was a little more upright than I probably should have been, but fuck it. They say butt fuck it. Ugh. Alright. While we're resting, let's rant. We get this question a lot, like how can we guarantee results? And obviously we can't, like I can't guarantee you'll lose 50 pounds, but I can guarantee we'll try our damnedest, and I can almost pretty much guarantee if you work with us, do what we prescribe, and just take action like you say you're going to, then you'll lose weight. Because we've helped, just recently we broke over 500 clients that I personally have helped, not including how many clients Ashley and Dennis have helped outside of Phoenix Performance. And well, let's just say we have a system that works. So if you're not sure if it'll work, pretty much just ask yourself, am I willing to put forth some amount of effort? And if the answer is yes, then you will see results. Will you lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks? No, probably not. Will you lose 20 pounds in 3 months? Yeah, probably. Most of our clients who have a lot to lose weight-wise will lose probably about 10 pounds a month. And that might seem accelerated, but a lot of times they have more to lose. Like if you're 265 pounds or 280 pounds, you can lose weight a lot faster than somebody who's like 165 or 180. And so normally, rule of thumb, 1% of your body weight is what you can lose safely, and most clients are around there. Let's hit the second set. I'm gonna stay here. But the problem is, when you find somebody who wants guaranteed results without actually doing the work, then obviously it's not gonna work out. So, actually, I wanna go underhand. I haven't done this yet. See how this feels. Fuck. I feel heavy. Oh. Oh, all right. Let's give that a second break. I might go overhand again. The last one was hard. Oh. Yeah, I'll go overhand next. Question I had. This is a question I've had to me. What are my thoughts on intermittent fasting? And kind of controversial, but I don't particularly hate intermittent fasting. Some people demonize it. Some people think it's the holy grail to weight loss. I think it is one tool to get you to lose weight. The same way keto, paleo, veganism, all other ways are tools to get you into a caloric deficit. And so I had a client Friday ask me what he thought on what I thought on it's called a 5-2 fast, where 5 days you eat normal, and then 2 days throughout the week you eat nothing at all. So you do like a 24-hour fast essentially. And I don't love that because that's extreme. And what I don't love is extreme diets. And so fasting for a prolonged time can be very detrimental both to your metabolism and your psyche. But doing something like a 16-8, where 16 hours of the day you're fasting, 8 hours you're eating, I think is actually probably a pretty moderate way to drop overall calories, reduce overall calories. And most of that 16 hours you're gonna be sleeping. So a lot of it is like skipping breakfast, eating from noon to 8 p.m., stuff like that. So not overly restrictive or overly strict, but also it's not a magic pill. So it's not like a magic time frame where your metabolism just is on overdrive over those 16 hours, putting you into autophagy and all those other buzzwords. You can very, very easily overeat calories in that 16 or 8-hour time frame, but it helps curb hunger. At least that's my experience, and other people I've talked to have had the same experience. But it is not a magic pill, it's not a magic diet. You can accomplish the same thing by doing anything else or just being in a moderate caloric deficit, which is something that we'll talk about tonight during our lecture. This is my third set. Alright, we're doing an overhand because that last one sucked. Damn, fuck. Still feel heavy. What's going on with you guys? Oh, alright. I'm not gonna do incline fly. I'll do incline bench. Dumbbell. Staring at you guys. So I made this post today about like what you can do in 2 months, because right now it's November 3rd and a lot of people want to wait till the New Year's. Right, Halloween just ended, Thanksgiving's a couple weeks away, Christmas is a month after that, New Year's is a week after that, so all these holidays creeping up, even though if you math that all out, that's 3 days. I'll even give you 5 days with the eves, but a lot of people are wanting to wait until the New Year's, or until after the New Year, because for whatever fucking reason, because they have the perfectionist mindset and they want an excuse to not take action. That's really what it is. My hot take. But what can you accomplish in 2 months? Well, we already talked about it 2 sets ago. If you lose 10 pounds a month, in 2 months you're losing 20 pounds, and that's not insignificant. That's a decent amount of weight. And so I made a post today. In 2 months, I've lost 17.5 pounds, I think. And half of that was me just kind of being at a maintenance or like a mild deficit. And so you can lose a lot in 2 months. So take action now. Also, this would be a good plug for my story arc challenge starting next week. But I'm not saying you need to invest in coaching right now. We'd be happy to have you, but just start, go for a walk, track your calories, do something. You don't need a coach for that, but if you do want a coach, you can let me know. All right, do incline press. Also, subtle flex. I had pizza 5 meals in a row this week because my mom ordered a bunch of pizza, and I lost a half a pound over the week and over the weekend. So, yeah, who says you can't eat pizza and lose weight? All right, let's hit it. This might be too late. Okay, that was a warm-up set. We're not counting that. We're here to cut corners, but not that many. I don't know if you guys can read this, but let's change this. Pickles, using that awesome eraser that just sticks to everything. Incline bench. Alright, let's add weight. Yeah. Free it for all current plane. Yes, that's true. Yes. Birds plugging our shit. Word. You can also DM me on Instagram if you are curious. And if you're a paying client and this is your first time hearing about it, you can also DM me on Trainerize. I posted about it in the group chat a few times, but I also know people don't read the group chat. So, all right, we're gonna do a set. Oh, what's up, Bowser? I missed you. That big bean burrito. I like that Phoenix. Also just caught a whiff. I did not put deodorant on today. You guys are lucky you're watching on the other side of a screen. Alright, we're gonna hit this. This might still be too light, but we'll find out. It's also loud. Oh, where am I showering? I can't shower. I can't come inside. Oh. All right. 6, 10. All right. All right, chat. I also posted a before and after of is this still okay? Of myself. I was in the same shirt I was in today. I'm wearing today. I was going through my testimonials, making short form content, and I saw an interview I did in June, late June, and wearing this shirt, and then I took a screen cap of a screen cap of a call that I was in earlier today with a client, and let's just say the difference is striking. And I was 261.6, I think is what I was back in June 24th, if I'm not mistaken. And today I weighed in at 223.6. So big change. Wearing the same shirt. So exact same everything. Same office, same chair, same backdrop, same shirt, same beautiful smile, and made for a good contrast. What the fuck? Okay, I'm missing two. 6 is not equally divisible by 4. Alright. You guys chatting up without me? Yeah, I look like I'm wearing my goddamn dad's clothing now. I got so many shirts that are too big, but I just like them because they're graphic tees, or, you know, represent the home team. And I just bought like a bunch of new ones, like the gym tanks that I wear and everything. They're they don't fit, so I got that baggy look. No, Pickle, we don't talk about that. Who the hell's asking how tall I am? Oh, just for fun. Well, why does that question get asked like every stream? Should I just put on my whiteboard how tall I am? I guess if I'm talking about my weight, that makes sense. All right, I'll just put my stats up there. Yeah, 6 foot even, according to my driver's license. Today, as of today, I was 223.6. Strength, 18. Actually, it's probably like 15 right now. But with all this weight, we'll see. Improving that strength stat. There we go, 2, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10. Oh, that is man. All right, I'm gonna do one more set of that because those first 2 sets weren't that good. Does that sound good? Where's in chat? No, I am not pure muscle. Twisted steel and sex appeal maybe, but I'm not pure muscle. Gloves and terrible form. That's how we're supposed to do it. Broski, it's like 45 degrees. Of course I'm wearing gloves. You can hate on form, I don't give a shit. Admittedly, if I see people wearing gloves in a gym, I have a little bit of judgment. But it's cold. In the middle, it's cold. Yeah, you're in a warm area. Legend. I will say I'm kind of warm, but I want to take my sweats off, but I won't. Because I don't know if I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, I am, but I still don't want to do that. Nickel foot. It's like 45. Here, unless you're talking to Legend. All right. 6, 8, 9, 10. Boom, boom. Oh, all right. That was a good last set, that's for sure. 47, yeah. We are, Bird, we are just getting started. Pickle, where are you? All right, what's next? Skulls. I'm gonna take a second to relax. That was my 3rd set. Technically 4th, but the first one's a... You shouldn't. You should only get like an advertisement like every 30 minutes. Oklahoma. Heck yeah. Oh, another question I got asked was carb cycling. Like, what are my thoughts on carb cycling? And carb cycling can kind of mean anything, but what most people see it as is on training days you eat high carb, and then on non-training days you eat low carb. And I don't really think there's any use for it because A, your body doesn't really operate on like a day-to-day measure, and you can argue that your body could use a few extra carbs to fuel your workouts, and that's true, but you also shouldn't be depleting yourself on your non-training days. And so eating like a moderate amount of carbs across the board would probably be more advised than a high carb, low carb cycle. And I think the difference is negligible and it's harder to adhere to. So unless you're somebody who likes the ketogenic or low carb style diet and you want to eat more carbs on your training days, like unless that's a diet you prefer or a lifestyle you prefer, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. What the hell, seriously? The way I have it like set to the lowest. I think it's 1 minute of ads. Hey, thank you, Pickles. I have it set for 1 minute of ads per hour. So it should be 2 30-second ads. And I thought I had it disabled so you don't get a pre-roll ad in the beginning. It's like 10 minutes in, I think. But if you do watch the ads, it does help me. I'm not one to flaunt my wealth, but I make like 50 cents a stream. And actually, Pickles just doubled that with whatever the hell he just gave me. So. All right, we're doing skulls with the dumbbell. We do skulls and curls with the same weight. Back and headache. I need to be. Definitely not doing 65. So, if you are interested in starting your fitness journey, but find exercise to be too goddamn boring, and you wish you could take your passion for gaming and turn it into fitness, then I got just the thing for you. We have our November story arc starting on Monday, November 10th, where we do 100% customized coaching that we gamify, so you earn XP in game and IRL, let's be real, and loot in real life if you win one of our prizes. So top three players with most XP win. We have 3 fabulous tiers, and if you refer somebody and they win, then you also get the grand prize. It's only $49, and we're giving out like $400 worth of prizes after we all add it together. So you might not get a ad, but you just did. Alright, I need to figure out, I think I'm going to do it facing this way. Let me get these weights out of here. I don't know if I told you this, but I got a headache and these loud noises are not helping. I think I need more gains. How's that? Better? Oh. Yeah, nice is right. Yeah, you should be able to see me there. my camera has a wider lens, so I don't have to worry about that. But how's this? I do these like every week. I really like these exercises. What is that for? Fuck. Alright. How'd that feel? That look good? Thursday. Bad booty coaches. Bird. Some people are gonna get the wrong impression. But we do have a bunch of badass coaches on staff. And by a bunch, I mean 3. You got Ashley, our mobility specialist. Dennis, he's an all-around badass, focusing more on general weight loss and aesthetics. And then me, who's just some fucking idiot working out with bad form in front of you guys. This is going to be a ramp. Alright. Saddle up. I had somebody tell me this and it pissed me right the fuck off. So, let me paint you a picture. You're somebody who's tried everything and not seen good results. Or maybe you've seen short-term results but rebounded your weight back. And you say you've tried everything except tracking calories. And maybe you're working out. Maybe you don't go to the gym, maybe you just work out at home. And when you ask, hey, why haven't you tracked calories? Why haven't you at least tried it? They're like, oh, that's not me. I'm not somebody who will weigh their food and track their every single bite that they eat. And first off, that's kind of like a false dichotomy because you don't need to do that stuff to track your calories. And even just having a food journal like this, where you write down what you eat, it's not necessarily overly hard, right? So if you're somebody who says, I am not one who, insert healthy habit here, I am not one to track my calories. I am not one to exercise. You don't have to go to the gym to see success, so that doesn't need to be one. But if you're somebody who says, I'm not going to track my calories, I'm not going to have a food log, I'm not going to work out, then ask yourself this. Am I happy being the person that I am? And I'm willing to bet, donuts to dollars, that you're not happy with who you are. So, in 2 breaths, 2 sentences, you have both established your identity with hard barriers. I am not somebody who tracks their calories. And then in the very next breath, saying, I am not happy with the identity that I have. So don't you see how conflicting that is? So, next time you're like, I'm not one to do something, ask yourself, well, what if I was? What if I was that person who tracked their calories or who prioritized their movement over 30 minutes of gaming? What if I was that person who decided to invest more money into health food or their health in general than fast food, or invest more time into meal prepping rather than being a slave to whatever fast food place is closest? What if I was that person? Do you think you would like who you were more? Do you think you'd be healthier? Do you think you'd be happier, more confident? Do you think you would be more outgoing? Would you think you'd be doing things that you could only dream of doing? All because you had this identity shift and you weren't landlocking yourself around, oh, I'm not one to track calories. That shit really pissed me off. Because if you're saying that's the only thing you haven't tried and you're 100 pounds overweight, then just fucking try it. Like, that's all you have to do. And if you do it properly, you're gonna lose weight, right? Obviously that's not the problem. It's adhering to it and sticking to it and being consistent with it. But don't let your identity stop you from being healthy, because the only other response to that is, you're right, you're gonna stay 100 pounds overweight the rest of your life, if not more. You're gonna gradually gain 5 to 10 pounds a year, like you have been, eventually be diabetic if you're not already, lose both feet and be dead by the age of 52, rather than living till 82, 92, 102, just by switching your identity at 32. So, if that resonated with you, cool. Because I know that pissed me off. I'm still getting heated up about it. Oh, you guys can't see me. Can you out-train a bad diet? That is good, Bird. Hold on, you guys are chatting it up. I think you can say badass. First off, you're a mod. You can do whatever you want. You know, weight loss starts in the kitchen. Weight loss does start in the kitchen. Thanks, Bird. You cannot out-train a bad diet with the exception of some extremes. So if you're somebody who works out, 6 hours a day, or you have like an extremely laborious job, you could probably eat a lot. You probably can't physically eat as many calories as you need to, because you have an extremely high metabolism and or are working an extremely laborious job. So you're probably burning like 4,000 calories a day. Your general person, IT professional, working sedentary job at home, no, you cannot out-train a bad diet. So let's put this back. Story time's over. Oh. One. Nine. And 10. Boom. 2. 9. 10. Give me a second. Alright. Oh, how'd that set look? Good? Huh? Yeah. Is that quick? Was it only 3-4 minutes? 5 minutes? Oh, I do a really good job at rambling. Anything in my nose? But you see what I'm saying. If you turn your identity into what's keeping you in the position that you're in, and you're not happy with the position that you're in, all you have to do is just simply change your identity. And by that, think of it as somebody who is trying to quit smoking. There's 2 people. We'll call him Sam, and the other one Aaron. These are based on not real people, and any likeness is completely coincidental. But somebody offers Sam a cigarette, and he says, no thanks, I'm trying to quit. Somebody offers Aaron a cigarette, and he says, no thanks, I'm not a smoker. So you can see which one is more powerful. So change your identity, you change the world. What do I got? One more? What's that? Someone talking shit about my form? Still? Oh, yeah, no, fuck form. I used to be a form Nazi, or, sorry, lawyer. Same thing, right? And I'm not anymore. Yeah, everything comes down to the way of thinking. Remember, you're in control of how you respond to the world. You can't control what people say to you, but you can control how you respond or how you react. Alright. Last set, best. 5. 9. And 10. I think our neighbors are out. Our neighbor is out chatting it up with her dog. And 10. There we go. All right. 45 seconds. For yeah, these are hypothetical people, Bird. For those of you who are not inside the joke here, we have 2 friends, one named Sam, one named Aaron. And Sam, he'll smoke on like holidays. Like he's a pretty casual smoker. Aaron is, the best way to put it, in recovery from smoking cigarettes. These are cigarettes, by the way. And the other, what was it, 2 months ago? Somebody offered him a cigarette, and they were kind of like coming from like his peripheral. And so they reached out a cigarette, and he looked at like was going to reach for it, not knowing what it was. And he saw it, and he like literally had a visceral reaction, like, because of the cigarette. And this hypothetical Aaron did not take the cigarette and did not smoke. So, because he knows how important it is to him. So next I'm supposed to do core. I don't want to do core though. Plus I don't want to be on the ground. Alright. Let's see. Mountain climbers, this is worse than core. Oh, just do burpees. There you go. How's that? I feel like I'm hiding down here. Yeah, but when I stand up, it's like I'm in a goddamn homemade adult film. Alright. So, for all of you watching, this will be an element of vulnerability because my core sucks. Without further ado, and the shit's dirty, but we're making up excuses. You see me? No? Is that better? Oh yeah, way more embarrassing. All right. All right. We can do planks. You guys counting us down? We'll go for 20 seconds. I'll be like, talk to you while I'm doing it. How's my form? I never see my form doing core, so. Alright, we can go longer than 20. We'll go 30. I got shit on my back. I look like it. Well, this is a bad idea. Go longer than 20. Oh, there we go. That was good. Oh. Not skipping abs. Hypothetically, the hypothetical pickle. 27. You're gonna make me lose count, pickle. Nice, thank you. I got my watch. That was time. This feels more personal. Sit down on the floor with you guys. Oh, I want to talk about John. Hypothetical John, of course. Oh, perfect. Yeah, I got this bad boy. It tells time and everything. I have this client. He has lost 32 pounds, I think, in about 4 months? 5 months. Somewhere around there. 6, maybe 7. But anyway, he's lost a good amount of weight at a pretty fast pace. Not overly fast, but not overly slow. And he told me today that he didn't really think he'd be able to do that. And he feels like his doctor told him 220 as a weight would be a good goal. That 200 by the end of the year would be too lofty. And today he was like 209. So very, very realistically can hit 200 by the end of the year. That's like what, a pound a week. And we've been cruising a little bit faster than that. And so he felt empowered and confident that he was blowing past his doctor's recommendation of 220. He's past that by 11 pounds. And he's going to be hitting, I'm in an ad.
Are you out of the ad? Normally I should be getting a message because I don't want to go on rants during the ad. I don't know how tall John is. That's not the point of the story. Anyway, so he's easily going to be hitting 200 by the end of the year, and he felt like I said, he told me he feels like he's just getting started, and that's not uncommon for me to hear when somebody hits their goal weight. It's almost like when you're playing a video game, like let's say you're playing The Witcher 3, and you finally make it out of White Orchard, the game just starts opening up. The whole world opens up. So like if you're playing an open world game, you get past the tutorial area, the whole world opens up for you. And that's how he was kind of talking about hitting like past that 220, past 210, and now he feels like things are just kind of starting. And we've been together, like I said, working together for about 4 months now. And kicking ass, taking names, and you don't quite realize what you're capable of doing when you're actually consistent with things. Especially if you've never been consistent your whole life. When you actually are consistent for more than 1 or 2 months, you're really able to accomplish a lot more things than you realize because you've always had these shit-tinted glasses because you always see yourself in a negative light. Oh, they could have been. I think it was a she. They could have been. Alright, abs. They're made in the kitchen, so why are we doing them here? Great question. I think it was 10. Alright, Pickles, time is down. Time is up. I don't know how you want to do it. When I was in grad school, or actually it was my undergrad, we had to have like perfect form with everything we did. And that was palms down while doing elbow planks, and let's just say it was not fun. So, and we're good. What was that, Pickles? Oh yeah. Discord, thank you for free Discord. Hell yeah. 30 seconds on the monies. Oh, I'm doing core. I had a client today ask me if there's different parts to the core, and so there are. And we talked about this when we're doing programming, but think of it as like 4 parts to the core. You could argue 5. There's your upper core, so your upper abs. There's your lower abs. So your upper abs are like what you hit when we're doing crunches. Your lower abs are like roughly where your belly button and below are, and those bring your lower body up. So when we do leg raises, that works your lower core. And then we have your obliques, which works when you do anything twisting, really. You can do side crunches and stuff too. And then you have your lower back, which we're not doing any core to target the lower back really. Well, but like doing Romanian deadlifts, the bent over rows we did, those do help target the lower core, or lower back, posterior chain. And then you can argue your glutes are part of your core as well. But they are, but we don't do, squats as a core workout. So I don't like using them. And then when we do planks like this, we're not really targeting any one particular part of the core, as we are kind of the whole thing through anti-movement. And so you're not necessarily building ab muscles by doing planks, but you are improving core stability. So last set, best set, then we're going to talk about meal prep. So if you want to lecture on the board about how to make easy meal prep using ingredients that you like, that are simple meals that you don't hate, stick around. What was that? I think I did one extra. Alright, last one. There we go. Yeah, this one's not the easiest set, I'll say that. I'm excited to get this leg press going. Watch, I get it all set up and it's just fucking bunk. Oh, there we go. Oh, okay. Oh, We're done. We did it all, guys. We didn't skip core today. Also, if you want to give me 1 second. If you want these workouts and many more, you can get your free copy of the 1 year's Player's Handbook, or Beginner's Handbook, where we have a full 12-month, one full ass year couch to gym rat training program that gets you from off the couch to doing bodyweight workouts at home, all the way to the gym doing intermediate power building workouts. The workout you saw from today is from level 8, week 3, day 1. So I'm sure Bird will put the link there. She's been putting it in throughout the chat or throughout the stream. But what we're gonna go over today, meal prep, is coming from this book as well. Give me like 2 minutes to set up. I can't remember. I think I do need you guys on the... Yeah, because we don't want to be that low, do we? Oh, yeah. This is probably Tanya's point of view, how she sees me. Bird, for those in the chat. Hi. Pretty much, yeah. So let's slide over. For those of you who joined later, you missed me dropping my whole setup on the concrete. I have, if you include the price of my phone, $2,000 worth of equipment. Yeah, we saw it. Does it give you asterisks? Don't be getting yourself banned. Oh, I almost did it again. I almost came crashing down. I need my one viewer. So before I erase this, let's go over what we did. Sorry. One time I did this and the light was glaring. I don't want that. So the workout we did was 8th level, week 3, day 1. We did upper body day, bench 3x5. It says 3x10 in here. Yeah, we did 3x5, barbell bent over row, 3x10, dumbbell incline bench. This says fly. I wanted to do bench. We did incline bench, skulls and curls, and crunches and planks. First time we've done core since we started, because I wanted to take the first 2 weeks, kind of slowly roll things in, and Bird wouldn't let me skip them this week. So again, if you want this and 171 other workouts, they're in here for free, as well as other things, one thing of which we'll talk about here in a second. But one thing that you'll notice, I said I changed a few things, and that's how I want you to use this. Use this as you would use a D&D module, where you're the DM, master of your own domain. You can change things however you want, and you can change the workouts how you want. I had a client today actually ask me about the core. He's like, so if I change up the core exercises, am I targeting different muscle groups? And I said, potentially, yeah, because it's not like one core. And I told him not to worry about it, because I'd rather have him swap out an exercise that he doesn't like for one that he does that might target a different muscle group, than to skip that exercise and do 0 exercises. So we'll do this. Soon, somewhat soon, we'll have this actually secured to the wall. We're busy like every weekend, at least through Thanksgiving, and so I haven't had time or energy. Let's be real. I didn't have energy to do it. So. Remember, story arc, November 10th. Join now. Oh, also, if you join early, you get access to your workouts and to the app and everything early. We'll do our session 0 early and as early as tomorrow. And we will get your program up and running that night. I do the programming after I do the session 0 the day of. And then you'll get early access to your workouts. So, let's talk about meal prep. This is something that a lot of people hate doing. And that's because they see meal prepping as spending all day Sunday boiling chicken, steaming your vegetables, and making a whole batch of white rice. And that sounds terrible. And so what I did is created this cooking and shopping guide. It's like 5 steps, and we'll go over each step on how to create simple, effective meals with a moderate number of, thank you for the follow, a moderate number of ingredients. Actually, there's like a low number of ingredients, and ingredients that you enjoy, and keeping it super simple. So ideally, these meals shouldn't take more than 20 to 30 minutes to make, but you are kind of at the, you're the master of your own domain, so you have big control over this. And so the first thing we need to do is create 3 lists. We're going to create a list of proteins, veggies, and then other forms of carbs, we'll say. Alright, so it will be mostly going to be meat, but let's say chicken. Spell chicken wrong. And let's say steak. And you know what? Let's say nuggies. Because who doesn't like nuggies? And then let's do veg, but let's do stir fry medley. What, cauliflower? I like cauliflower. I don't know how to spell cauliflower. I need some here. Okay, it's not. Cauliflower? Cauliflower. And then let's say broccoli. Broccoli's got 2 C's and 1 L, right? Yeah, okay, I got that right. And then carbs. You guys talking shit about me in the chat yet? Hey, I appreciate that. Yes, I seem educated and real, so I followed. I try to be as real as possible. Educated. Yeah. So TV, you seem educated, and I don't know how to spell cauliflower or broccoli. So yes, I am very educated. Yes, thank you, Bird, talking shit. Yes, so proteins, normally in the form of meat. If you want to do plant-based, you can. Tofu, there's all sorts of plant-based proteins. Harder to kind of gather because less available, but not impossible. Veggies, take your pick. Carbs are going to be other forms of grains. So are going to be grains and other forms of carbs. So going to be like your rices and beans and legumes. That's why I say carbs instead of grains, because I want to include like beans and stuff in this list. So let's say white rice. Let's do flavored rice. I really like flavored, like the chicken flavor rice. The Knorr, K-N-O-R-R. Let me write that down. That here. K-N-O-R-R. This is a really good brand for flavored rice and noodle packets. And then let's say beans. So we got a list of each. And in this ebook, you have a full list. So again, for those just tuning in, this is completely free. Bird will drop the Discord link, which is also free. And if you're on our Instagram, the link is in the bio. So I think I have a, hold on one second. So you're creating your 3 lists. Also in this ebook is an empty print, semi-print friendly. You can't quite see it with the shadow, but there's an empty table that you can fill out. And also for us D&D nerds, you can turn this into a roll table. And so if I wanted to, I could add a 4th. Actually, let's do that. Carbs, mac and cheese. Let's say peas and carrots. So that's actually not a bad medley. And let's say chicken thighs. So one thing you'll notice, for the astute viewer here, some of these aren't healthy. So chicken nugs, not that healthy, quote unquote healthy. Chicken thighs, going to be higher in fat than chicken breasts. Steak, depends on the cut, can be high in fat. Arguably, some people argue not healthy. Mac and cheese, I don't know what world mac and cheese would be considered healthy. But the trick is, now that we've made this list of foods / ingredients that we enjoy, right? Everything you put on this list is something that you don't hate. You pick one of each. So you can do your standard chicken breast, broccoli, white rice. Or you can do chicken nuggets, cauliflower, and then maybe like a flavored rice. Or you can do chicken thighs, broccoli, mac and cheese. Actually, if you put that together, that should probably be pretty solid mac and cheese. I like to doing steak, stir fry, and then maybe instead of one of these, you can do like a tortilla shell. Shell. And so you can see how you'll be having like literally fajitas, right? Actually, I don't know if Lucky Legend's in here, but he was telling me today that he's making, I think, chicken stir fry. And so you can see how there's a large variety of what you can do here by just creating 3 lists of ingredients of foods that you enjoy. And this isn't exactly just going to be a 3-ingredient meal, but if you just did, you know, chicken breast, like frozen cauliflower that you threw in the microwave, and then like a flavored rice packet, and then threw that all into a bowl, that would be 3 ingredients. But step 3, so step 2 is pick in one of each. So let's do that. Let's do steak, because this is what I was thinking of. Steak, do the veg medley, and then we'll do tortilla shell. So we pick that. Next is going to be essentially how you prepare, how you sauce, how you season it. And I know there's kind of a lot in this particular step, but it doesn't have to be. And that's why I wanted to keep it as like laissez-faire. And so steak, you can add like your steak seasoning, ground beef stir fry. That sounds pretty solid actually. It sounds pretty good. So steak, you can do like a steak seasoning. You can do salt, you can do pepper. You don't really have to. But we like doing the McCormick steak seasoning. That's pretty solid, especially if you have a leaner cut. Like my particular favorite is like a sirloin, which tends to be a leaner cut, so it needs a little bit of assistance when it comes to flavor. So a little bit of seasoning on that, and then veg medley. Those tend to come, you know, pre-frozen in like a bag. All you have to do is throw that onto a stovetop, and then your tortilla shell. You don't have to do anything with that. And I like to slice and pan fry just because it takes a lot less time, and so your meal can be done in the amount of time it takes to cook whatever protein it is. So whether it's chicken nuggets, they take like 7 minutes. But if you dice up chicken, throw that on the pan to do stovetop, and then throw any frozen vegetable into the microwave, that takes like 7 minutes. And then a lot of like your pre-made flavor packets, rice, beans, all pasta, all those will stovetop in like I think like 7 minutes as well. So you can have this whole thing done in the amount of time it takes to prepare chicken, which tends to be about 15 to 20 minutes. So you can see how this can be super quick and easy, and add a lot of variety without needing to get a whole lot of ingredients. And I know some clients that will make their list. Let's say they make a list of 5 of each. They'll buy one of each ingredient and then just kind of mix and match, and that's their meal prep for the week. And you don't have to prepare all of this on Sunday. What you can do is there's 3 phases to meal prep. There's planning what meals you're going to be making. There's qualifications, yes. There's planning what you're going to be making. Plan. Then there's, you know, acquiring the ingredients. There's shopping. Can you guys read that? I think that's too small. So there's plan, shop, and then actually cook, right? A lot of people try to turn that into one step.
You can do these two. You can plan and shop in one step. Ideally, plan what you're gonna do before you leave the house and then go shopping, or do like a Walmart pickup order, and then cook. A lot of times people will do these in 2 different days. I think that's totally fine, and I think that helps kind of divide the load up a little bit, because you don't want to go shopping and then come home and cook. But what we like to do, what Bird and I like to do, is we'll come up with maybe a handful of meals, like 2 or 3, and then just cook them throughout the night, or throughout the week, excuse me. And a lot of times it's something simple like chicken, white rice or flavored rice, and then like we'll throw in some beans maybe, and maybe like a broccoli or cauliflower, and then we turn that into like a burrito bowl. I am a big fan of just eating taco meat, which isn't like on here, but you can do like a homemade, another burrito bowl, throw anything in a bowl, and it'll be good. So meat, veggie, rice in a bowl, and you're good to go. And that is that. So let me double check. So yeah, plan your meals in advance. Go shopping, which step 4 is planning your meals in advance, like what we just talked about. And then step 5 is surviving the shopping run, for those of you reading along. Step 5 is surviving the shopping run. And this is something I talked about last week, I forget what day. But there was some lady who she made a dumbass post about how you need to stay away from all essentially processed foods. And arguably just shopping on the outside of the store, which is good advice. Like shopping the perimeter is kind of like your rough and dirty advice on how to properly shop for whole foods that are not as triggering, I guess, or tempting. That'd be a good word. Not as tempting. And so the perimeter of like your shopping centers tend to gonna have produce, then like maybe your lunch meats, then your cheese and dairy, and then other meats, right? And so shopping along those lines is what's posted in here is a good idea. Never shop hungry. Pre-plan what you're going to be shopping for, so that way you're not running in there thinking, oh, we need this, we need this, we need this, and then getting a bunch of half-assed ingredients, because I've done that. And so, yes. So this is proper meal prep. This is really all you need, and easily get it done. And a lot of clients, myself and Bird included, see great success by just having these lists made. And if you want, you can roll a D4 for each and see what RN Jesus has to say. Why did you say processed? So next are some bonus tips. I don't need to write on the whiteboard for this, but surviving a night out or eating out or fast food, this is most people's kryptonite, because when they can do this, no problem. When they're at home, they're in their own domain, they're perfect, right? Meals are prepped, you got the Tupperware in the fridge, everything's locked in place. Until you get that text on Saturday from your boys saying, hey, you wanna go to Taco Bell? And you're like, yes, I do. And so you go, and you don't have anything planned or prepared, and so you are left completely helpless, dead in the water, and you black out, and before you know it, you have $40 worth of Taco Bell sitting in your lap, and you're not sure what the hell just happened. That is because you did not set yourself up for success. Yes, most things in the middle of the grocery store are processed. So, going back to this, you are left without a plan because you are in this state of all or nothing, to where when I'm home and I'm meal prepped, things are perfect, I'm great, and then outside of that element, I have no idea what to do, I have no control, nor do I have any structure to support me. And obviously life doesn't work like that, and so what you can do is come up with, I have lists. You can seek lower calorie options. So what I like to do with our clients is come up with, you can either write it down, or I call it a mental menu, come up with lower calorie options to buy at your, whatever your favorite fast food place is. Taco Bell, for our example. They make power bowls, those are pretty solid, Bird likes those. They make like a power burrito, that's not terrible. Their chicken tenders are actually really not that bad, but I don't know how long they'll have them. And so like your power bowl, it will probably be your better bet, because I think that's going to be around for a lot longer. Yeah, and you could definitely have a treat every once in a while. Who's to say you can't have a grilled cheese burrito because you know it's in your calorie budget. But this is for people who want a little bit more control and don't necessarily have all the calories to burn to get $40 worth of Taco Bell. So chicken over beef tends to be lower calories. Do grilled over fried, or what do they call it? Broiled over fried or crispy. Those will cut down on calories. You can definitely swap out your sides for veggies. This would be more for like a sit-down restaurant. But if you were to get, like a veg medley instead of French fries, you're gonna cut down on like probably 200 to 300 calories there. Portion control. This is a big one. So what I like to do when I go to a restaurant is, thank you for the follow. What I like to do when I go to a restaurant is get my, whatever I want. Like I say, I want to get a burger or pasta, and then just cut the meal in half and take half of it to go. And so you can do that right when you sit down. If you're somebody who can't really practice portion control and just moderation, then get a to-go box like right away, put half of it away, put it in the box, close it, you don't have to worry about it. And then you can eat the half that you have in front of you. If you get like a burger with fries, you can eat the sides, because chances are the fries aren't gonna last, but they might. And so just cut your burger in half. It's a really good way to cut your calories in half, almost quite literally. And you are giving yourself another meal. So you're cutting the price of the meal in half because you're getting 2 meals for the price of 1. So bang for your buck on that. You should. Definitely should. I think that's like one of the quickest, easiest, actionable steps that you can do to cut your calories in half, save money because you're cutting your price of your meal in half. And I would do it in the beginning, like right when you get the meal, because a lot of times when we're out eating, especially at a sit-down restaurant, it's more about the social experience than the food itself. So we will mindlessly eat until our plate is empty. So cut the meal off, cut the meal in half in the beginning at first, and then put it in the to-go box. And so then you can kind of mindlessly eat there, one step at a time. My problem has always been being told, oh man, you're touching a nerve there, finish your plate. Yes, I made a post about this last week about how, believe it or not, you don't have to finish your plate. And yeah, so that was that. The last step was request half your meal to go from the start. If you are one who literally cannot control what you eat, you can actually ask them to plate it or to box it before they even put it down for you. So I want to touch on what Pickle just said about thank you for the follow. 60 followers. I never thought I'd live to see that day. But one thing Pickle said, always told to finish your plates. There's a lot of starving kids in Africa, Ethiopia, wherever the hell people are starving right now, and they would kill to have your leftovers, right? How many times have we heard that? And so one thing, that was a huge mindset for me. And one mindset shift that I had to really help with that was, if I have food on my plate that's not worth being leftovers, right? This isn't food that we would put in a box to go for tomorrow. This is food that I wouldn't even justify taking home. I will then, instead of binge eating it, becoming overly full, stuffed, bloated, guilty, full of shame because I ate too much, because you didn't want to waste it, I would then say, I am taking this plate, let's say there's $2 worth of food on this plate. I am taking this value of $2 worth of food on my plate that's not worth being leftovers, mind you. I am instead investing that money into my health. So I'm justifying that cost by saying that $2 that I'm throwing away is actually going into my health because I'm not eating it. And the inverse to that is, if you can't justify investing that $2 into your health and you end up finishing your plate and eating that food, feeling stuffed, bloated, guilty, shameful, then you are then saying your health isn't worth that $2 extra. And so that mindset shift has really helped me to where it's like, no, I am worth more than $2. My health is worth more than $2. And I'm willing to throw away $2 worth of French fries that are cold and stale, that aren't worth taking home, in order to, invest that back into my health. So that is what I do. And I hope that helps you. So last bonus tip. This ended up being a little bit longer than I thought. That is good, Bird. You are worth it. You are all worth it, friends. Surviving the D&D session, right? The dreaded D&D session where there's always food at the table. You're there for 4 to 6 to 8 to 12, 24 hours, however long you play D&D. Ours tend to be around 4 to 6 hours. And we have an unwritten rule at my table where we don't put food on the table unless we're actually taking a break to eat. So I don't like having snacks just sitting in the middle of the table because it's very distracting for myself and others. So what can you do to stop that? First off, eat beforehand. Unless you know you guys are actually going to be having an intermission where you eat dinner, then I would say eat like a snack beforehand. Also, make sure you budget out the calories that you are going to be eating for like dinner. A lot of people on D&D night, they do tend to not overindulge, but they do tend to indulge a little bit more, so you can kind of bank extra calories throughout the week. Definitely practice moderation. One thing I don't like seeing is just mindlessly snacking. This is something that I used to struggle with when I was a player, before I was cursed to being a forever DM. Actually, Mark, if you're watching this, he is going to be my DM now, because we just started a campaign. Him and I just chatted about it today. We're playing on Sunday. Oh, Bird, I'm playing D&D Sunday at 4. And so, be mindful of your snacking. Don't mindlessly eat, right? We are always wanting to fidget with our hands, building dice towers, doodling on the side of our character sheets and stuff like that. And so instead of doing that, be mindful. If you do want a snack, go grab a plate or bowl or whatever, put the food in the bowl, the plate, and then ideally remove yourself from the source. If you can't just remove all the food from the table, then try to push it away from you as far as possible. And then have your little bowl or plate or whatever of the snacks already portioned out, and then you can kind of mindlessly eat there, rather than mindlessly eating out of the bowl of candy or bag of Doritos, because that gets very dangerous. Opt for 0-calorie drinks. I think this is a good rule all around, but if you're there going to be sipping on something, maybe make it Coke Zero or like Powerade Zero instead of the full sugary drinks. Excuse me, if you want to indulge in an alcoholic beverage, you can do that as well. Just make sure you track calories. Bring healthy alternatives. This is, nobody wants to be that loser who is telling other people how to eat. But if you brought like, a little plastic baggie of maybe some like fruits and berries or veggies, or like if you brought in like a healthier charcuterie board, I would say ask your group first. Maybe if you wanted to bring healthy alternatives for the group or for yourself, right? If you want to bring a cooler of just some small veggies with hummus and stuff like that, I think that's totally acceptable. And in fact, you might inspire others to be healthier as well. Again, I don't think that's anything wrong with, I don't think there's anything wrong with bringing your own food. Plus, a lot of people who have food allergies will probably do that anyway. Last one, engage in the game. And just always there, mentally present, physically present, writing notes on what's going on. So that way, when the DM asks you next session, does anybody remember what happened? You will be the only one that actually does know what happened, because you had it written down. You were active and you were present in the moment, and you weren't worrying about eating as many Kit Kats as you can or trying to kill that whole entire family-sized bag of Doritos. Because you were present in the moment and actually focusing on the game and the strategy of role play, all of that. And so if you're able to just take your mind away from the snacks, then that can be an easy way to limit snacks. As well as sipping on like a diet soda. You could bring veggies, just not ranch. For those of you who don't know, I hate ranch. My hot take is nobody should eat ranch. So that's that. We chatted a lot longer than I expected on meal prepping and how to eat like during the D&D table, at the D&D table, and going out to eat and stuff like that. So, does anybody have any questions? I know we got a handful of people in here. Again, if you want this book, all for completely free, I think it's 327 pages, I think is what the ebook is. Can be yours, completely free. All you gotta do is join the Discord, which is also free. I'm not trying to get any money from you guys, not just yet. But since there's a handful of you here, I'll give you guys a little peek behind the curtain as you guys are all joining the Discord. Speaking of which, if you're here from the Discord, I haven't got a chance to go through the messages today. I'm gonna go through them probably tonight after I finish all this up, and I'll go through and respond to everybody. I haven't been on since Friday. I've been very busy this weekend. But real quick, this will be quick, I promise, and we'll wrap up. I spent like all day yesterday working, and I was planning out kind of like new kind of business strategies and ad strategies. And one thing that I came up with was taking this book and kind of condensing it slightly a little bit. But we have the story arc starting November 10th,
Like I said, if you are somebody who's trying to start a health and fitness journey and that you find exercise and nutrition very boring and you want a way to kind of turn your passions for gaming into fitness, this is a great way to gamify your fitness. It's a great place to start. Everything's fully customized by yours truly. We will meet and do our session 0 and create an entire program for you. It's a 14-day program, and the winner gets a lot of fabulous prizes. So join that. It's just $49. Bird will probably plug it too. But one thing that I'm doing is we're taking this story, my D&D campaign, and I'm turning it into probably 4 arcs and 4 12-week arcs, and turning that into a book. So this has 172 workouts, I think, is what it is. And we're going to kind of combine these workouts with the Sunfire Chronicles is the name of my campaign, and break that into 12-week modules. And in addition to that, we'll have different nutritional resources and everything, and additional habits and everything like that. So it'll end up being probably like 100 to 120 pages for each 12-week module, and they will level up as they go and progress through the story and everything like that. And so I think my next venture will be working on creating this and working with my designer Siri to come up with something that's more concrete, because like I said, this is just kind of a compilation of all of our current ebooks, and this next one will be slightly different, and that one will be available for purchase, but it'll be like really cheap. I think I'll make it like $9 or something like that. I think the retail will probably be like $29.99, but I'll probably start it off at really cheap just to kind of get people interested. And I'll be looking for play testers too. So if you're listening to this, chances are you'll already be getting early access to it. And so, yeah, I think that'll be fun. I want to do stuff with more like class-based, story-based, and stuff like that. And even if it is like a module coming out of a book, physical or digital, it'll probably be digital, where you have your character sheet, you assign yourself IRL stats, and then throughout the 12 weeks, you do self-assessments. Did you level up these stats? Did you level up at all? Did you do your workouts? That type of thing. I think it'd be a very powerful journal that makes you feel like you're actually playing in a D&D module. That's the goal of it. So that's what I'm working on. So, yes, to recap, that is how you meal prep. I feel like that was a long circle that we just went. Any questions on that before we hop off? No. Okay, yes, Bird, you can DM us, but this project will be like at least 2 to 3 months out. Because my designer this series is gonna take a long time to design it. Because like I said, it's gonna be like 120 odd pages. And I might actually need to get other designers in to do more illustrations, because I want it to feel like an actual D&D module. And we can expedite it by having her do something more akin to this, which is like print friendly, which is what I wanted. And then have somebody come in and do more graphics, like of character art and everything like that. Not unlike something like this. So I think if we have 2 people tag teaming it, that could be beneficial. But yes, this is a long-term project. But if you want this right now, immediately, completely free, just join the Discord. And I'll get to the Discord sometime tonight. But we've been at it for almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 40 minutes. I think this is my longest stream, longest workout stream. But any questions? I know there's a few lurkers in here. I want to give you guys time to give me some questions. All right. Tomorrow we're doing legs, and we're hitting the leg press for the first time. Ebook, yes. Yes, the ebook, yeah. I don't have that book available for purchase, like the physical, yet. But that is potentially something in the future, but I also want it to be print friendly, because right now it doesn't look that pretty. I formatted the covers, and they're not formatted properly. That is not my designer's fault, that is my fault. And then the stuff is like kind of pixelated, like this type of stuff, because this was made strictly to be an ebook, and I wanted to print it off because I wanted to get my hands on it. And I can use it out here for this. So yeah. Leg day is fuck tomorrow, guys. I'm excited to do the leg press. I splashed myself in the eye. I'm excited to get it ready. It's been September 18th was when I bought it. And it is now November 3rd. And how long is that? 6 weeks? And it's been sitting here carrying my sweatshirts pretty much since then. It actually took almost 2 weeks to get all the parts, most of the parts, all 3 boxes. And then I was missing 2 rails, which just got delivered today. I haven't had a chance to mess with it yet. And so, yeah, yes, Picklefoot, they did. As of today, October 1st, I let them know I was missing parts. They didn't send me a tracking info for the parts until October 12th or 13th. And then it didn't update until October 27th, I think. And September 18th was when I bought it. So from September 18th through November 3rd, I have had an incomplete hunk of metal that is not small and takes up a lot of space. And I kind of been putting off like cleaning the garage. Like I have some stuff outside that needs to be put back in here because I got this a little bit tore up. How much weight do I have for it? However many plates I have, I think collectively it's 440 pounds of just weight, not including the weight of what the leg press is. Honestly, it probably won't be enough, but the plates are independent. I'll show you. Oh God, this is heavy. So the platforms are independent. This is one. And so I can do single leg stuff. And so I think that'll be more than fine for this. I'm just gonna put this down. The reason why I bought this one is because you can do a single leg with the platforms independent. So, are friends still joining us? Yep. So that's that, guys. I think I've rambled enough. I think I've taken up enough of your time. If you are joining just now, then I appreciate you joining. I'm going to be hopping off. If you do want to catch the full video of this, well, the replay will be on Twitch for a week. But I upload the VODs. A higher quality, by the way. I upload them with my main camera onto YouTube. I'll probably do it tomorrow or Wednesday. I try to do it at least, within a day, but sometimes it's 2 days. And if you have any questions, put them either in the comment section on the VOD. You can DM me something directly on Discord and or Instagram, or you can shoot us a message on there. And remember, our story arc is going to be starting Monday. If you are interested in that, let me know ASAP, because we'll get you in, get your session 0 scheduled, and we'll get you into the app early, and you'll get early access to your workouts and everything. You won't gain XP during that time. The XP doesn't start until Monday. So, but you'll get access to your workouts and you'll get more familiar with the app and everything like that. And everything's fully customized. All the workouts are fully customized. There's some nutrition habits that are kind of baked into the program. But you'll be customized nutrition like calories and macros and stuff. Calories, I'm not doing macros. But everything else will be kind of set up so that way you are geared for success. And if you join, free for clients, $49 for non-clients, and you refer somebody and they win, then you also win the grand prize. And so you get double your chances of win. I was talking to a client who was I don't know if he's in here, Lucky Legend, but he was talking about his D&D group, and I was like, dude, if you get 5 people to join, then you get, you just 5 extra chances to win. So, yep, November 10th, DM us Dragon on Instagram, or you can DM me on Discord if you want to know more about it too. Don't comment on YouTube because I probably won't see it in time. But I think that's it, gang. I appreciate you hopping on. I feel like we had a decent amount of people joining. I don't know if you guys are all coming from Discord or if Twitch's algorithm is actually doing well. But I know the discoverability on Twitch is awful. So, yeah. You guys have a fantastic evening. And I hope you guys learned some things about meal prep and working out with bad form. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, let us know. And I will be here tomorrow doing leg press, ideally, hopefully doing leg press, but doing legs either way.
and you guys will be there to help witness my downfall. If that leg press doesn't work, I'm probably gonna lose my shit. But yeah, until next time, gang.